Hello everyone. If you've clicked this tutorial video, then you already know about the game, so there's no need for any long-winded introductions. So let's just get right into it. Tip number 1, farm placements. You'll notice here that I've built all my farms in one square area. The reason for this being is that by joining your farms, they all count as far as range is concerned to the leftmost farm. So if I click on this farm, you'll see that it's gonna reach my storage. This one, it's gonna reach. So they all count as far as range is concerned to the left one. I'll give you an example. So if I delete this, build my road, you can see it only reaches that far. So if I delete it, put the farms back in, now you can see that it reaches again. So always try to build your farms like this, avoid putting roads in between them. Tip number 2, and this is pretty basic, but it's always worth mentioning. Always take note of which resource produces what and where. For example, the barley field will produce 2 units of barley and 4 units of hay in the top layer of the mountain, 4 and 3 in the yellow zone, and 6 and 2 in the green zone. So always make sure you plant the barley down the green zone to get full growth of barley, if that's what you're after. This particular mountain didn't have a green zone, so I was forced to put them in the yellow zone. Example, honey produces 3 in the top zone, 5 in the yellow zone, and 3 in the green zone. Can't tell you how many times that I've forgotten about this and put my beehives in the top zone and then realized, oh yeah, I'm building too many. It's because they're producing 3 instead of 5, which leads me into tip number 3. Most production units produce 2 different types of resources. For example, my yak shacks, they produce milk and wool. So make sure as you place them, I like to keep them all together so I know where they are. So I've got all my yak shacks here. Now make sure that you put the units directly into a trade post. For example, here, this is collecting all the milk from the yak shacks, this cart post, and this cart post is collecting all the wool. It's very important that we do it like that, because then we can just draw the wool wherever we need to later. We can draw the milk wherever we need to later. So it's always good to have them in one area so you know exactly where they are. Tip 4, never put your production straight into the production building. Reason being is that each production building, for example, cheese maker, says it can only receive a maximum of 6 and use 6. Some resources, if you were to send it straight into the production building, this is fine because it only produces 6 and uses 6. But if we go to, let's pop it on this map. Let's go, finding stuff can be a bit hard. So see, for this incense maker, it can only use a maximum of 4 cedar wood. So if I was to build another one, then with the cedar wood, and if I drop the wood straight into incense maker, see how now it says I'm sending it 8, but I can only use 4. So these 4 is now wasted. I can't get those 4 back. So what I do is, rather than putting it straight into there, I'll drop it into my cart post, and then from the cart post take it to the factory. Now it will only always send you just what it needs. Tip number 5 is to always upgrade the roads as soon as you can afford it. You'll notice here that this is the basic road and this is the range of my market. Not very good, can't reach that house or that house. You'll notice that when you upgrade the roads, it increases the range of your buildings. So these roads now max level. There's a 3 point upkeep, so you've got to keep that in mind. But now look at that range compared to what it was before. Always upgrade roads. The next tip is to build walls around your monk village like this, around the entire island, rather than individual groups of buildings. It's much more efficient like this, and you only have to do it once and then build your town as normal. They love it so much that they're giving me a round of applause. When you build them like this, you will run out of space faster. It is much better to just do the entire island, because here I won't be able to fit another square in, here I won't be able to fit a square in, etc. So you're better off just building it across the entire edge of the outcrop. Tip number 7 is to always try and build your market in the middle of an island, and then directly beneath it you build your donation spot. Reason being, you put it directly in the middle, you get full range of the island, and your donation gets a full range of your town. It's directly under the market. You notice all my towns are directly under the market, and if you look here under donations, I've got max donations. Donations is how you make your money. Tip number 8 is just to follow the objectives and only try and do what they say. Don't bother trying to do anything extra. For example, if one of the objectives says provide 360 citizens with smoked meat, only just do 360. Don't do it to each town. If you do it to each town, you'll run out of space very quickly and you'll start to get confused and not know where your resources come from. So definitely stick to your objectives. That's the way you want to play to progress to the end of the map in a reasonable time. Just don't overextend yourself. Tip number 9 is you will always seem to run out of artisans. You need artisans for everything to transport goods around the map. If you look up here, I've got 384 lowlanders that are unemployed, 313 monks that are unemployed, and 0 unemployed artisans, which when you see the hand here, that 20 workforce that I'm missing, I'm paying for that in workforce penalties. So it definitely pays to try and, where possible, send all your resources to artisans over lowlanders, and maybe even build a second artisan town. Like if you look over here towards the end of the game, this is the last objective, so it doesn't really matter. I had to delete some monk houses because I had so many unemployed monks. I didn't need that many, and just squeeze in my artisans in this town just so I don't lose too much money. So yeah, definitely try and focus on artisans where possible. The final tip is to only upgrade your houses as needed, as you need the population. Reason being is that every time you upgrade a house, the consumption increases by 2. So if I just upgrade these houses just because I can, you'll notice how quickly it's going to go up, and then they're going to be asking me for more resources because they're going to not have enough supply and demand. See? And now watch, my income's going down because it's becoming less efficient. So Definitely only upgrade as you need it. Like I wouldn't have even upgraded them because I didn't need the population. Need some artisans, so I'll upgrade them. Just be mindful that upgrading just because you can have a detrimental effect. Alright, so hopefully these tips and tricks help you get a good start in the game. If you found this video helpful, just drop me a like and comment. You can always find me on Twitch. The link's in the comments. See you in the next one.